Let's go. We're in the arena. We're in the arena. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk family. We're going to talk maybe even a little bit of food. We are here with the newest member of Enter Miami, our goalie, Dayne St. Clair, the first-round draft pick in the 2019 Super Draft. Dayne, welcome to Miami.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let me ask you this. What was the first thing you thought about doing once you came here to Miami, Dayne?
For me, the first thing was obviously just to get associated with the team. But I think outside of that, you think about the energy that the city has, a lot of vibrancy, so multicultural, similar to where I grew up in Toronto. So I was looking forward to kind of just immersing myself into the community and then figuring out the ways in which I can give back to the community as well.
And speaking of giving back, you've been involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters in the past. And when I got word that you're coming to Miami, saw all the things you were doing with Big Brothers Big Sisters in the Twin Cities area, and shout out to Big Brothers Big Sisters in Twin Cities. Why Big Brothers Big Sisters, Dayne?
For me, I think, one, I'm an athlete, so you never know what city you're going to go to. So being a part of a national organization was something that was important for me. And then I think just mentorship, giving people opportunities that they might not have in order to succeed. And I think with mentorship is something that can open up some of those doors and allow kids to be able to give to the next generation, and that's the generation of now, to be honest.
And you're such a natural. Now, just breaking news, not every professional athlete is just, when it comes to kids and when it just comes to the, what I call just the kind of the soft skills, some professional athletes are a little rough around the edges. I won't mention any names. Are a little rough around the edges, but you are just the teddy bear. And so somebody mentored you. Mentorship is so important to you. Talk to us about who mentored you.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, my parents. My mom still works in community centers, so I kind of grew up in them a little bit. So I was always around, and obviously that's just one realm, and there's so many ways, different ways of mentorship. And then anytime you're in sports too, you always have the older guys on your team, coaches, people on the teams that are ahead of you that might look out for you. So for me, it's always been intertwined, whether it's been coaches, family, friends, or other players.
Speaking of the game, and I want you, as you think about coaches, and do you call it football or soccer? I want to just be clear. We're going to follow your lead.
I call it both. It's the same game to me. It doesn't matter if potato, you know what I mean?
I like that.
It's still the same thing.
And with that being said, what was the first time you actually picked up a ball and started playing the sport?
Probably since I could walk, to be honest.
Man.
I played it from as far back as I can remember.
And who introduced you to the sport?
I would say definitely my family. My grandparents on my mom's side were big into football. Supporters coming from Scotland, moving over where obviously soccer, football is such a international and popular sport around the world. But then my dad as well played in the little Sunday men's league. It wasn't that competitive, but always kind of had that ball somewhere around, whether it was watching it on TV, watching it in person, or playing it myself.
From a mentorship standpoint, you talked about your mom, but somebody outside the family, a coach, somebody that just taught you some of those life skills. But tell us about your personal journey so we can get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest one that comes to my mind is my goalie coach growing up with Jerry. At the time, I was playing outfield and decided he kind of recommended me to switch positions. I was playing a little bit of both, but he was like, I think you should. It was getting to the age where I probably had to decide around 12, 13, where you have to kind of pick a position that you're going to be in. And I was playing defender and goalie, and he kind of was the one to like really recommend me to play goalie. So I would say for him, he's probably the biggest one that was so influential because it happened at such a early age, but it was so crucial in terms of where I've gotten to be now, because I don't know where I'd be if I didn't end up switching positions.
And that's the power of mentorship, Dayne. Somebody sees you, sees your potential, gives you some coaching and guidance, and it worked out pretty well for you.
It's worked out all right. I'm definitely happy I listened to his advice, because we've all heard some advice maybe in the past that we didn't think was right for us in the moment, or we decide not to listen to, and then you learn the hard way sometimes. But at the end of the day, that's part of your journey as well.
Absolutely. And that's when we think about our bigs and littles. Our bigs provide that coaching. Our kids don't need to be fixed, but they just need somebody to just pay attention to them, give them the guidance and the direction. So let's pause for a minute. Let's have a little fun. Not that we're not having fun, Dayne, but you come here to Miami. There's a little building right down the street from us where you all play, the new new stadium. How was it? I mean, you all just had your first game there. Walk us through, starting with what you put on the headphones, what you put in your playlist. What was that go-to song? The world needs to know, Dayne. What was that go-to song?
For me, my dad's from Trinidad, so I always listen to like soca music or dancehall music before games. I put on like DJ mixes, so I don't have to worry about, I don't like this song. Just a little bit of everything at the beginning. So for me, I was listening to a DJ called Young Bretta. He's pretty famous in Trinidad and has actually come out with his own songs. So I normally just let that play out, and then I don't got to worry about picking songs. It's kind of a playlist already curated for myself.
I love that.
So I think for me, that was kind of what I had going on. And although we knew that it was like a huge event for everyone and for the community, for us to be able to kind of have our permanent home now in Miami, and we wanted to put on a show for the fans, and of course we wanted to win, most importantly. And unfortunately, we only ended up tying. But I think the fight that we showed at the end, we'll bring it from the beginning of the game and be able to go from there, because we want to make this place a fortress, and we know people spend their hard-earned money to come watch us and support us, and it's our duty to be able to give back to those people, and you give back through winning games, to be honest.
How was the energy in the stadium?
Oh, it was electric. I mean, especially, it's easy when you go down for the crowd to turn against you, and they stuck with us, and we were able to fight back to tie it, and we felt like we were pushing for the winner, and we didn't end up getting it. But when you feel that energy and the crowd really pushing you on to go and push the game towards the other team, there's definitely no better feeling, because you feel like you're closing in on them, and in a stadium like that where it's so tight, you almost feel like you're caving in on the other team, and they're just trying not to break.
Absolutely. Has soccer been the only sport you've played as you think about your athletic journey? Any other sports, or was it just, here's the ball, this is what we do?
Growing up,
it's a very Caribbean thing to say. You notice I tell you, like, this is what we do.
Yeah. Growing up, I played a little bit of everything at very young ages, but I played volleyball in high school.
Okay.
And then other than that, I was just always, soccer was always the main thing. Like, I remember we went to a tournament in high school, and someone was like, what team do you play for volleyball? And I was like, I just play here. And they're like, do you want to come play for our team? And I was like, at the time I was playing for like the youth national teams for Canada, and I was like, as much as this is a sport I can only have, like, I strictly have fun with, you know what I mean? I don't have to work, like, of course you're competitive, but like, I knew at the time for soccer for me was something I really wanted to dedicate all my time and focus to, and that was my little like escape to have fun with my friends a little bit. You know?
Who was that soccer player when you were the kid? I mean, we think about some professional athletes that look up to. I remember growing up, and in basketball, I want to be like Mike. You ever heard that guy MJ play a little basketball? And so
I think they made a movie about that.
Yeah, they did. And so, who was that soccer player for you that not only you had the family influence? You mentioned you know obviously your family, but who was that pro or that athlete that you emulated or motivated you?
Yeah, for me, I would say at a young age, it was probably Dida, who was the goalie for Brazil and AC Milan. But I think a large part of it was he played for two really good teams. But I think the other part was I felt like it was someone that kind of looked like me. And I think that representation of seeing something that looks like you has lived certain things similar to you, you feel like you could be in those shoes, and it feels doable because they did it. And obviously being a person of color, you don't see many people in my position at times. So I think especially at a young age, it was just like, this guy looks like me, so like that's my favorite. You know what I mean?
I love that. And from a mentorship standpoint, from a big brothers, big sisters standpoint, we bring together, in essence, a stranger, somebody that's not flesh and blood. And it may come from different backgrounds, different cultures, but they become family. Mm. And so why you talked about why you got involved in, a national organization, something that you can relate to, but to your point about just being seen And the Surgeon General in the United States of America proclaimed loneliness as a national epidemic for kids. Is having somebody in your corner. You're part of a team, professional team. You're in this beautiful city, Miami, vibrant cultures and all of that. Talk to the kids out there, Dayne, in terms of why it's so important for them to never lose sight of the ability they have. And even if somebody, because kids, we don't want them to be hopeless. We don't want them to be lonely. So talk to the kids out there and give them some advice. Coach them up, Dayne.
Yeah, I'd say that the easiest thing in today's world especially is to compare what everyone else is doing. But you walk in your own steps, and then sometimes it's creating your own path. And there's a lot of ways to get to where you want to go. If you look around and talk to people that have made it potentially where you can go to, a lot of them have so many different paths. Like I look at some of my teammates, some of them signed when they were 16 years old to be professionals. Some of them had to leave the country and go somewhere else and then play for the second team to get their foot in the door. Myself, I went to college in a different country. Like there's so many different ways in order to get to where you want to go. So it's easy to always look and see what that person's doing to the right or the left. But I think kind of having the blinders on a little bit in terms of I'm going to put one foot forward after another, and sometimes I'm going to have to go back to go forward. But I'm focusing on my own path, and my path is the way that's going to get me there. And of course, there can be help from others. Sometimes you need that helping hand to get you over that little bit of a roadblock. So don't be afraid to ask for help at times, but to really focus on what you want and keep that goal in mind in terms of, because there's going to be a lot of people sometimes that won't have that same belief that you have. So if you have that belief in yourself, to be able to let that to push you forward.
Coaching from a goalie, our goalie, Inter Miami, Dayne St. Clair. Now, Dayne, I want you to talk to the bigs. We got folks out there, we need bigs. We need folks to sign up, join the team. For those folks that are out there that are like, yeah, I may want to get involved as a mentor, I may want to get involved as a big, but don't have the time. Why is it so important for that people get involved with Big Brothers, Big Sisters Miami?
Yeah, I think everyone hears the word mentorship, and sometimes they don't really understand what it is, but everyone's a mentor. Whether you're a big brother, you're a big sister, you're a mom, you're a dad, you're a cousin, you've probably mentored someone in some way, shape, or form, whether you knew it or not. So I think for sometimes that's the word that like hangs over, or I don't want this to be my responsibility or things like that. But I think when you start to give back to the community, you're making where you live and the people that are going to come after you a better place. So if there's maybe things that you've learned from on your journey, why not pass along that information? Because as a society, I think that's the way that we are able to move forward, is to learn from our mistakes. And sometimes that's someone else learning that mistake for you and passing it on so you don't have to go and make the same mistake. And other times it's someone to give you a helping hand or believe in somebody when they don't sometimes see the belief in themselves.
Dayne, we are fortunate to have you in Miami. Welcome to Miami. We are fortunate as Big Brothers, Big Sisters Miami to have you on our team, and we thank you for that. I got to ask you two more questions, very quick. This is a speed round. 2 questions. Okay. You ready? It's like the goalie. I'm going to start there as a goalie.
Yeah.
The game's on the line. What is it, a penalty shot? Is that what it's called? Penalty kick? Penalty kick, right?
Yeah.
Penalty kick. It's tied 1-1. And what's going through your mind? What's going through your head, if you will? You got the crowd going crazy at the new stadium. How do you prepare mentally? Because these kids deal with pressure, taking a test in school, pressure from maybe some challenges in their lives. But as a goalie, you're there. How wide is that goal, Dayne, give or take? It probably seems like
big.
it seems probably even bigger.
Yeah.
And you can go left, right. You're jumping. What goes through your mind? Because you got to prepare for the next move, right? What are you reading? I don't want to give any secrets to the team you're going to play next. But what goes through your mind in preparing for this pressure moment?
In that situation, I know I'm at a huge disadvantage, and I embrace that. I'm okay with that because I know I have a chance to be a hero, essentially. So I try to put the pressure on the other person. Is kind of the way that I approach it, and I take that pressure off myself because I know if I'm able to save it, I trust and I believe in myself that I'm going to save it. But I know from the outside world, no one's expecting me to do it. So when you think of it like that, there's kids in some schools that no one's expecting you to go to college or whatever. But if you believe in yourself in that moment, it doesn't matter what the other people think because you have their own belief in yourself. So for me, I always think about the belief in myself and almost picture myself making the save before and have that visualization of I'm going to do it. And of course, you might not ace the test that you have, and sometimes it's going to go in, but it's still the belief that the next one that comes up, I'm going to go in with that same belief and not let the previous aspects affect me moving forward.
So if they see it, they can actually believe it.
Exactly.
And if you see, you may not be the only one, but you see somebody that may look like you or somebody from a different background, but don't ever question yourself. This is game of life coaching you're giving us today, Dayne St. Clair. So now once you get that save, you win the game at the new stadium right down the street from Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. What's that celebratory meal? Our last question, Dayne St. Clair. What's that go-to meal after you win?
Well, we have so many games, so for me, it's going to be a boring answer, but it's about the recovery because games come quick and fast, especially
True.
with the World Cup coming up. That's been my main focus, so really kind of been trying to prioritize the things that I put in my body and focus on the recovery. So that's the boring answer, unfortunately. But maybe at the end of the season when you fully get to,
I want to maybe a little Caribbean flavor and all that.
Oh no,
too.
Caribbean
you talk
flavor,
about eating
of
a
course.
little protein bar. No, I don't want. You didn't grow up with that. You know better than that. So now, Dayne, end of the season, you don't have to prep for a game in 24, 48 hours. What is that? This is going to be totally different. What is that go-to meal? Come on now.
For me, it's definitely going to be curry chicken and a roti for sure. A little bit of spice in there, and really just indulge. I think growing up with a dad from Trinidad, he did a lot of the cooking growing up, and there was definitely a lot of Caribbean influence in terms of the things that we ate. And I know that I can definitely still eat some, but I need to be a little bit cautious because some of the dishes now have a lot of oils or butters and things like that. But no, I think you can never go wrong with curry chicken for sure.
Well, Dayne, thank you. You brought some spice to Miami. You brought the heart, the kindness, your commitment to mentorship. We are so thankful to have you on our team here at Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. Wish you the best this season. They made a good choice in bringing you to Enter Miami. Dayne St. Clair, Enter Miami, Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, teaming up to do some big things. We call that a goal. Let's go.